Hi, I'm Catrice Michelle with ImposingGestures.com, where creating equates to happiness. Good night. How are you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Catrice, and tonight we are going to do the Walmart clock DIY using the silhouette. What you'll need for this video is your Walmart clock. You will need a small screwdriver to take the clock out of the package and take the clock out of its cage. This is the clock. You're gonna need the image of your choice, a template of the clock which you can find on Google, and double-sided tape, or you can use glue. This is the clock you're gonna get from Walmart. I'll leave this here for a second. It's the mainstay DIY. We are changing the image in this particular clock, and I'm using my silhouette to do it. So my computer is really slow, guys. I try to get a step ahead. The first thing I do, because I know that I'm going to print this image not using my actual silhouette machine, but kinda. I'm designing using my silhouette program, but I'm going to print it on my regular printer, which is a Canon. I have two Canons. I have an inkjet and a laser printer. So I think I'm going to use my inkjet printer. So because I'm printing from my printer, I measured the paper size that I'm going to be printing on, which is going to be 8.5 by 11. So that's what you see here. The size of this sheet here is 8.5 by 11, and you do that over here in this corner. I don't know if you see where my cursor is in this corner. If you have a silhouette, then you know, where to go and choose your paper size. So like I said, my computer's really slow, but I clicked on the paper image, and here you can see the width is 8.5 and the height is 11, and that is how I got this, right? Okay, we're gonna close out of that because we already have it. So the next thing I want to do is to get a circle, and I want to do the height and the width of the circle at 7.25. So to do that, I go over here to my drawing tools and pick it's like a circle, but it's more kind of oval. But I click on that because I know once I get in here, I can just make a circle, right? So when you do that, and again, if you know you have a silhouette, you know how to use certain things, and if you do anything else in this particular area, you're gonna draw lines. It'll keep drawing circles. So before you do anything else, once you get the circle, go over here and change your pointer back to a pointer. So once you click on pointer up here in the corner, you can come back here and you can click in here and do what you want without manipulating the circle. So what I want to do here is click on the circle, go up here to size at your width and your height, and we want to change that to 7.25. And then change your height to 7.25. Right? Okay, so you should have seen my circle get a little bit bigger, and I'll just drag it down a little bit so you can see. So my camera is a little far away from my phone, but I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit. And once I do that, so you see the circle, and then I'll lift you up so you can see the sizing. And that's what the size is. As a matter of fact, I need to change the width because that's not right. It's 7.3 on here. It should be 7.25. So I'm going to fix that, but I just wanted you to see where the sizing is going to go and what's going to happen with the circle, right? Right, so let me go up here and I'm going to fix that. 7.25. Right? All right, cool. So the problem with what's happening is I need to unlock my aspect. 7.25. And once you get 7.25 in both your height and your width, come back here and lock it so it doesn't move. So let me show you what I just did. here 7.25 and 7.25, and this is your lock. Once you get this and this here, lock this, because if you don't and you put in one number here, it's going to adjust it on the other side, and you won't have what you need, both height, width, and height. So make sure you lock it once you get that in, so that it can be the same all the way around, right? All right, so we are going to zoom back out, push you up a little bit, and we are here. So once you do that, once you get your circle to where you want to go, you want to lock it. Let's go and get our image. Okay, here we go. One downloads, and this image, the first image here, right here, is the image that I want. It's saved to my downloads, so I'm gonna pick that image. Okay. Okay. Ooh, that's huge. Look at this sheet. Okay, well, you're not even going to see all those wrinkles in the sheet once I get it down to size. But it's crazy how photographers do that, but they know they can, I guess, blend that out, because you don't even see it when the picture is smaller. I didn't notice it. I'm pretty sure my son and daughter-in-law don't know it, that sheet's that wrinkle in the background. But hell, they were right there with the sheet when they took the picture, so they can probably see there that it was wrinkled. Anyway, isn't that pretty, y'all? That's a beautiful picture, ain't it? It's one of my favorites of them. That it's my son, that's my daughter-in-law, and that's the little baby. Oh my God, and he's such a cutie. He's so adorable. So what we are doing here, where did my circle go? Oh, you know what happened? Okay, I'm gonna have to show you guys something. So when I went to open it, it opened a new page, but that's fine, because here is the page where my circle is. That's okay. If you use a silhouette, you know that you that'll happen unless you open it on the same page. So what I can do here is just take this picture from here. I'm gonna cut it from this page and go to the page that I was already working on and paste it here. Okay. All right, and then I'm gonna put the image in the circle where I want it, and then merge the two. I don't want to stretch them so much, but I think there are ways around that, baby. And then I am putting it on my circle here. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit. I gotta see what that looks like, right? Once you get the picture and your circle, you can highlight them both. Go up to Object, go down to Modify, and hit Intersect. And so that's what the circle is gonna look like. Now, I'm not sure I like it. Because I feel like there's more space behind him than her. So I'm feeling like it's not really centered. So I'm not really sure. But then the baby is in the middle, so I might need to leave it alone. Let me get the actual picture again and just look at that, just to compare. Because then that just means I need to adjust it. You see how difficult it was just getting it to where I wanted it to be then. Okay, I'm not going to do anything with it, because when I look at this picture of the original, her hair is like right along this line, and there is that much space behind his back. So the only thing I would be able to do is just, you know, cut it in a little bit like that, and then I'll be cutting off his back, and I don't want to do that when her back is still there. So with that being said, let's go back to our image. Okay, so we are back at our image. Once we get back at our image, we go to Google and we get the clock numbers. You can just type in Google clock face numbers, or wall clock face, or clock face, but make sure you get the PNG. The PNG is numbers with no background. Okay? Even if you pick the JPEG, there is a way in Silhouette to turn JPEGs into PNGs. That's another video. I will show you guys that in another video. But for this, just go to Google, type in PNG wall clock face, pick the numbers that you want, bring them here, and this is what you're going to use on your clock, right? Okay. Well, there's some things I have to show you about how to do it. So you know what? I use 2 screens, so it might be, I'll show y'all what I mean by 2 screens. I use my laptop down here and my design screen up here at the top. So that's why I'm telling you guys what you should do instead of trying to show you, because I use 2 screens. But I have to show you because you're gonna run into some problems when you go to do that. So I have to show you how to do it. But this is what my clock's gonna look like with my white numbers. Let me show you this. If you notice, the hands on this clock, they're black. If I put those black hands on this baby and on this clock, you're gonna lose the hands because the image is black. So in the beginning of the video, or somewhere in the video, you'll see me with using white hands, and that's because I took the hands apart and spray painted them. So the hands are going to be white on this clock. Just so you know. So just think about that. You can paint the hands before you go back and put them back on, depending on the type of background that you're using. Y'all, these shits right here gonna be the death of me. I can't stop. Anyway, so that is my clock. The only thing left for me to do here is print this on photo paper. Is what I use. And then I'm gonna cut it out with scissors. I could use my machine to do it. I can just, you know, do my registration marks. But then that means I'll have to print it, bring it back to the Silhouette mat, and have the machine cut it out. And I'm really not interested in doing that. I should have picked the clock with a little hole in the middle so I can get a cut on that little hole that I'm going to stick right here too. But I'll show you guys how I do that. And then let me group this. As a matter of fact, see how the 6 is a little bit down? I want to make that. Let me bring that up a little bit. I like this a little bit better. Oh, that's perfect. I believe. What y'all think? Y'all think that's good? Like it has enough space everywhere around it? I don't want to do too much to it. But I did notice that the 6 seemed to be off a bit. Is it straight? I believe it is. So we are going to highlight everything, and then we're going to group it so that it doesn't move. So now when it moves, it all moves together. I like it. Okay, so that is the martini on that. I do need to show you guys how to go to Google and get your numbers. Okay, this is the part where I show you how to go and get your clock face. So once you get your clocks to come up, you just start looking for the one that you want, and you want it to have a clear background like this one does, but I don't want this one with the hands because I already have hands. So I'm looking for one that's PNG, like this one's good and it has nice good numbers. So I am going to click this one and do a save image. It's actually very nice. I'm gonna save it. All right, I am saving it as clock face 3. All right, we are back at the silhouette. So remember in the beginning I told y'all I used an 8.5 by 11 sheet. So what I'm gonna do now, because I'm just going back to get the clock face that I just got off Google, I saved it in my downloads. So I'm opening my files. I'm gonna open downloads. And this is the clock face that I chose. I labeled it clock face 3 so that I know it's different from the one that I originally had. So this is the one that we're using, right? Well, let me see. I might have to start over, but this is the clock face that we're using. I want to make the numbers white. So in order to do that, change the color, I need to go over here to, what do they call this? To the tracing panel, which on Silhouette, most people call that the toast looking icon, this little one right here, right above the half moon. Hit trace, come over here, highlight the whole thing, bring your threshold all the way to the end, and what that does is make everything highlighted and bold and crisp. That's what I call it. Once you do that, you get like this a solid fill. So you want to make sure that it's on solid fill, which is this right here. Once you do that, you want to hit trace, right? So we hit trace, we want to move the black one. This one in here, we don't need. We can keep this one right here, right? So now it's red. In order to change the color, you go to your color panel over here and choose white. So now it's white. Well, it still has that red border around it. So here, I go over here to the line choice, select line color, and change that to white. So now all of it is white. So when I add this, of course I'll have to size it. Once I add this to the original picture that we're using for the clock, once I size it down to the size that we did with the clock, then that's when I'll hit save and we'll go from there. I'm gonna cut this clock from this page and bring it over to this clock here. I'm just gonna paste it. I want to see how I like it. Do I like this one better than this one? I think I might. So what I'm gonna do, since I'm undecided, is ungroup this, right? And let's see if I can move, so I can move those numbers. And then I'm gonna bring these numbers in, and I'm gonna size these numbers by the same size of what we said the clock was. Let's do it outside of here. It's already open. We want 7.5 in width. It's not even moving. And 7.5 in height. Okay, so it changed. And now we want to bring this down here. And that's what that'll look like. Now, for me, I don't know if I like those numbers. They seem big and it's overwhelming for me on the picture, like it's taking up a whole lot. So I might have to use those numbers on another clock. I'm gonna go back to these numbers that I was using here because they're smaller. I think I like those better. So I'm gonna just save this off to the side and keep it for another clock. And I'm gonna use the ones that I had originally. I really just did that so I can show you guys the process of getting the clock from Google and changing the color of the numbers on the clock to another color. So that's what that was about. But here we are. So from here, I'm just going to group this back together, and then I'm going to print it, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like cut on the paper, and then how we put it on the clock. All right, guys, here is the clock. It's taken apart. I'm going to show you on another clock. I forgot to mention too, you're going to need like the eyeglass kit. I think there's a kit at Dollar Tree that you can go and buy. It's just a little thing that allows you to unscrew, but if you have a small screwdriver, you can just use that. You don't necessarily need to get an eyeglass kit. But I have one because I also sublimate watches. So, and then there's a little kit like this that you can get. I want to say Walmart or any tool place, any place that sells tools would have something like this, and this is very helpful around the house. So this is the way the clock comes. You're gonna need a screwdriver to take this off the back, because when you finish with the clock, you want to put this back in here, and that's how you present it to whoever you're giving it to. And then there's screws around these sides that you want to take apart. So once you do that, you're good. So because I didn't, this is the picture we just printed. Because I didn't do the hole punch in the middle, what I did is laid this in here on it where I know it'll be, and just pressed on it so I know where I want my hole to go. And then I'm gonna take one of these with the smallest hole and poke it through, just to give me the hole that'll go onto this. See how that nice little circle hole? That's what we got. And then I'm gonna just lay this in here to make sure it fits right. Okay, so with that, this is where your double-sided tape is gonna come in. I use double-sided tape, but you can get like a sticky glue gun and rub it and just smooth it out. Whatever you feel like you need to use to get your image to lay flat, because this doesn't come out. You have to put your image on top of this to cover it. So I'm just laying it inside of my clock with tape in different spots. Should be enough. I don't think you'll need that much. It's just a piece of paper, and you want to make sure you position it, the numbers in the right spot. So this is where my 12 is, and I like to start on one side of the clock to make sure everything lays even, and then make sure my hole is good. So press your hole down and then hit it on the other side, going in to out, you know what I'm saying? Outward, I guess I should say. And you get a smooth look, right? And that's what we got. Okay? I think that's good. Good. All right. With that, it's time to put the arms back on. the hands. And we know, as you know, I spray painted my hands, so let me get them. I'll just put a little sealer on them. And they're not quite ready yet. So I'm not sure I'm ready to use that, because you want to make sure they're fully dry. So we would come back and we'll do the hands once they're completely dry. We'll let that sit. And I'll finish this clock up tomorrow. Alright guys, we are back. We have the picture here. We are going to put the hands on. Which, remember, I showed you guys where I painted them white, because as you know, on the Walmart clocks, they come black. Now, because I'm using my phone to record, I need to remember how these hands go, because you have to put them back on here reverse from the way that you took them off. So it looks like this hand goes down first. Push that down on there. Oh, looks like it might have not have been dry all the way. That's not good. Looks like that one is still kind of sticky. I don't want to push it down too much, because I still want it to move and turn, but I don't want it to be flat on the picture. So I know that one goes first. It looks like the long one goes next. So we'll put this one on here. They still seem kind of sticky. I'm gonna let you guys know if painting these was a good idea. If they don't move when I put the battery in, then you'll know. And then the second hand goes on top, and you know that because it's the one with the cap. So we're gonna put that one on until it snaps. Okay, you don't want to break it. So I think I might have. So you got to be careful to not break it, guys, which is what I just did. And I don't think gluing this baby is going to work. There is no fixing that. I think because if you glue it, I think it's going to stay there. It won't turn. Oh my God, I broke it. That means I have to paint another one. Alright, I need to go online and look for clock hands. You know, that sucks. So we're gonna pull these off. And maybe when I go online to look up clock hands, I could possibly find some white ones, because I'm not sure painting these might have been a good idea. And I probably... yeah, I'm not really happy with that. I'm just worried that the black hands on this clock isn't going to show. Oh. So you know what, guys? We are going to put this one up, because I am going to go and look for clock hands. I feel like that's something that should be sold somewhere. And I am not going to toss this, because I do want to get this done. I'm going to do the process on this clock. Leave these hands black. And come back and show you from here on how to do it. So let me clean up the workspace and I'll be right back. guys, it is time to print this baby. Look how cute it came out. So I decided to go with the red, obviously, because I like the fact that he had the little red on his little shoes. You're gonna see in this video, I'm pretty sure you kind of paid attention to me playing around with the sizing, because sometimes in my head I lose what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm going to say this in case you didn't catch it in the very beginning of the video when I gave you the sizes. The sizes of your circles need to be 7.25 in height and 7.25 in width. But for some reason, with all the changes that I had been making and me being frustrated with that last clock, even though the sizing was correct, I wound up doing this one at 7.5. So keeping that little, look like a train track kind of border around the numbers that you see there, I think I might have been going with that. If I wanted to keep it, I should have sized it correctly by 7.25. So I am getting ready to now place it. As you can see, it's already too big, but I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe not. Maybe when I pull it out of there, out of its casing, it actually fits. So we are about to see. So grab your screwdriver from your toolkit and unscrew the clock from the Walmart packaging, or the packaging of the clock, I should say. And make sure you keep all your screws, guys, because like I said, you are going to want to put that clock back in its casing when you're getting ready to give it to whoever you're going to give it to. I'm just going to use that tacky finger top to put the screws in from the inside. Those screws right there actually stay in the little black part that it comes out of, so you don't have to worry about those. So we take the top off, or the bottom if you will. Keep that little information sheet in there with it. And now we take out the screws from the back of the clock, and I think it's 6 of them. So I'll take those out and then put them in that little top of my tacky finger, just so I can have them at easy access when I get ready to put them back in. So we'll speed this part up a little bit. Okay, here's the part where I tell myself, be careful, girl. Be careful. And y'all, be careful. You saw me break the other one, so make sure you take those out with ease. Let me slow it down a little bit. Well, maybe I don't have to. So what I'm doing now, just like you've seen before, once I pull the hands off, is I'm taping it down with double-sided tape. Once you get your double-sided tape, you put your clock on where you want it to go. Make sure your numbers line up. What you just saw me do is press the because I don't have that center hole, because I didn't cut it out on my silhouette, I'm getting ready to press it on the clock, the very first clock you saw me do. I just want to get that hole, so I use my thumb to give me a print, and then I stick it with the pliers or whatever you have that's sharp enough just to give you the hole that you want. Also, I realized that it was too big, so you see I had to cut off that little railroad track part of the clock. So now this is where you see me sticking it in to give me the circle. And now it's perfect. Alright, so now we are just placing the face on top of the actual clock face and smoothing it out so that it fits nice and neat inside the clock. I think I'm gonna love this one. Look at it. Look at the little grandbaby. He's so cutie patootie. So here I'm just adjusting the paper around the little dial. If you can pull off the excess, pull off the excess, because you don't want anything to manipulate the hands as they're trying to go around the clock. You don't want anything to stop them. So this is me putting the hands back on. I'm trying to put them on easy because we know they will break. And when I put my hands back on, guys, I like to put them on at 12 o'clock everything up to 12 o'clock. So I can tell whether or not it's moving correctly when it's time for it to start moving. So that is where we are. Now I'm just going to get the glass, and we're going to clean the glass before we put the glass back on its frame, and then we'll frame the clock, and then we should be done. So let's give it some music so you can see what it looks like. Alright guys, it is now time to check out the reveal. I think it came out pretty good. I do like the red letters much better. So here's what it looks like. So what you want to check here is to make sure that your hands go around without clinging into each other or stopping. Like I said, I like to do mine at 12 o'clock, so it's better to test it and make sure the numbers, the hands are on the right numbers when they do go around. So again guys, this is what it looks like. You'll see pictures of the finished product at the end. I thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Come back for new videos and let me know what else you'd like to see. Bye.